I'm a foodie, so I like to eat. So I'm telling him, when we eat, and I'm always asking every 10 minutes. So it's like, that's the cook right there. I'm like, you box too?
That's fish.
What kind of fish?
White.
Ish was like, man, yeah, I'm the chef, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love the food. I said, what kind of food you got? You got some greens, some mac? He's like, no. Some macaroni? He's like, no, bro, it's egg rolls. Cheesesteak egg. I'm like, I'm in Philly, I wanna eat a cheesesteak. He was like, no, cheesesteak egg rolls. Huh? He's like, don't worry about it. And he started showing me the menu on the phone, and I'm talking about, I was foaming at the mouth.
And for sure, egg rolls. Oh man. Estes, we on our way.
Estes is in the heart of Philly. You see so many people come by, everybody knew Boots. Everybody walked up to Estes. Man, I need some egg rolls, Ish.
I'm sore and tired and starving. He probably ready to go another 14 more rounds. Are we in a home with cheesesteak? Are we at the right place?
Yeah, we at the right place.
It's
It's something different. It's not like a cheesesteak. It's like rolls. So you know,
How often you eat it?
I eat here, you know, every couple weeks or something like that. You know, I don't try to eat too much of it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always here trying to support, you know, my guy and all that.
Well, let's go see what this food about.
Sure, that's good.
Estes, pull up.
Straight. Come on inside.
Do not do that. Straight. Yeah. Right off. Good. Come back, though. That's good. Ah! They shooting!
Slow down.
Ahead of his clash with Xander Zayas, Jaron "Boots" Ennis has been sweating it out in the gym. Fans are thrilled to watch the footage being leaked from the Philadelphia gym Boots set up camp in. After his exploits at welterweight, Boots has now set his eyes on becoming unified champion at super welterweight, and he's leaving no stone unturned in his preparations for this fight. Boots is of course regarded as one of the toughest opponents to beat. The critics, however, aren't satisfied with his recent performances. They argue that Boots hasn't fought opponents that can truly test him. Unfortunately for Boots, he's been craving the smoke for a long time. He even called out Terrence Crawford a couple of years ago. However, no big name has been willing to fight him, seeing that he's been dominating all his opponents in the ring. We all thought a fight with Virgil Ortiz was on the cards next, but that fight didn't materialize either. Then up stood Xander Zayas, and here we are now. Jaron Ennis has the golden opportunity to become undisputed at 154 pounds.
You know, it's a lot of top guys and a lot of big names at this weight division, and I'm just excited. You know, I'm ready to, like I said, I'm ready to take over the division one by one. I'm gonna knock them down one by one and show the world why, like I said, why I'm the best. Hopefully everybody continue to want to fight each other, especially after I'm victorious on June 27th. You know, I'm going back to back to back to back. I'm trying to be undisputed, and which I will be undisputed at 154. So bring them all on.
Bring it on is the message Boots Ennis has for his opponents at 154 pounds. And while while he has ambitions of becoming undisputed, his opponent, Xander Zayas, won't make it easy for him. The 23-year-old defending champion has set high goals for himself and has constantly been earning that Boots is walking into a trap. Don't forget that Zayas was the one who pursued this fight first, claiming that he wanted all the smoke. He seems mentally strong and confident going into this fight. Besides, Zayas has a significant size advantage. During the latest interview with AK and Barack on the Ring Champs podcast, Zayas opened up about Boots' strengths. He talked about Ennis' speed and boxing IQ giving him sleepless nights. He's focusing on working on and possibly neutralizing those threats, revealing that he has to be 10 steps ahead of him during the fight. He plans to not give Boots any space or opportunities to attack, or else he'll take advantage and run away with the victory. Zayas respects Ennis as a technically gifted boxer, but also talked about a massive vulnerability that could be his key to success in this matchup.
Fight night.
You about 180 right now. You about 180 right now.
Let's keep it about 180 right now. Let's keep it at that.
You bigger than that? Damn.
180.
Cruiserweights in there. All right, let's talk about this fight, man. I do feel Jaron is a very talented fighter. I thought he was a big 147-pounder, so he still have decent size, but you're bigger than him, like in stature. Without giving too much up, what worries you about him? Like, what do you have to be concerned with in the ring?
His speed, and his IQ. I gotta always be 10 steps ahead of him. I can't give him no space. I can give him no chance. If he sees a chance, he's gonna take advantage of it. I mean, he's a good fighter. He knows how to read another fighter. I mean, we've seen it throughout his career. So he knows how to read fights. He knows how to read a fighter. But he's never been uncomfortable either.
People have been, this is what I've been hearing, right, for some experts off the record, saying that Jaron gets hit, right? We all seen him get hit in fights, but people like to say, well, it's because he's comfortable in there getting hit with those guys. He's a better defensive fighter than that, right? But he does get hit at fights.
And that's what I say, that's for sure.
So people are saying, a lot of people are starting to say, this fight is a lot more interesting than people think. Xander's a big guy at this weight class. When you watch those fights and see him get hit, do you think to yourself, like, wow, there's so much vulnerability there. Like, I know exactly what to do to this.
That's what I think of myself. He better not get hit because, again, he's never been uncomfortable. He's been hit, but he's been okay. Like, I can still, he rolls with those punches.
Right.
You know, every time he gets hit flush, you can see it. He gets uncomfortable, but then he gets back to.
Gets back, right.
And these guys, they don't have the IQ. They don't have the technique to keep building on that, right?
Right.
I do, and you guys have seen it. I build on everything. On everything I do is just something added extra to that layer. And there's no fights that you can tell me I haven't seen nothing new from you. There's always something that I get better at. There's something that I improve at. And this fight, I will continue to do that. Again, it's easy to be there and be comfortable with all these guys and be comfortable getting hit. But what when you're not? Well, how is your brain gonna tolerate that? How is your brain gonna react to that? It's not. It's gonna be too late.
I guess there's no real easy fight at 154 anyway.
During the interview, Zayas also talked about why he wanted to fight Boots, despite him being avoided by the rest of the division. He confidently talks about taking up challenges and wanting to constantly prove himself. He also shed light on fight negotiations, criticizing fighters for trash talking on social media before finalizing the fight. He mentioned that he signs the contract after one response instead of going back and forth with his opponents.
But no one really ever wanted to fight Jaron Ennis. No big names.
Yeah.
You know, and you got 2 belts already. You could have unified and tried to become undisputed, but you're fighting a guy that doesn't have a belt, but a guy that no one really wanted to fight.
Yeah.
True.
How did you make that decision?
Well, it's like I told you earlier. I don't shy away from anything. I want to be the best. I say I'm the best. This is the way you make it happen. They say he's the best. Let's prove it. It's only one way to prove it. We got to get in that ring.
Yeah.
At the end, it's easy to go on social media and talk all the talk. When we get on the phone and we make something happen, we want to make it happen. We want to make sure we make something happen. And all those guys, they always talk and go on social media back and forth. I give you one response and one response only. After that, we're picking up the phone, we're making a phone call. We won this fight.
Ooh.
And that's what happened.
You
So
think the back and forth, like online or in press conferences and stuff, is going to be like it would be with Virgil Ortiz or someone else?
I don't know.
Because it seems like you like that. You like that verbal jousting.
Yeah, I feel
that's what it looks like.
but I feel like every time, if you guys see at every comeback that I make or every statement that I put out, it's facts. I'm not lying. I've never said a lie. I could tell you a joke, but never a lie.
Yeah. I see that your jokes got a little bit of truth in there.
You know?
So do you premeditate some of your some of the things that you say at press conferences? Do you calculate it?
I wouldn't say premeditate. Like I wouldn't say that, but I definitely think about some of the comebacks. Like if he says this, I know I can hit him back with this.
You got to be ready.
But how important is that? Because promoting a fight outside the ring is important, regardless of what people say. And I don't mean not be yourself, right? But we live in a social media era. So if there's a verbal, fight back and forth, a clip can go viral.
For sure.
It can bring awareness to a fight. That's the reality.
For sure. I feel like there's a fine line between talking and having a back and forth and being disrespectful. I feel like I've never been disrespectful, and I never try to be disrespectful. That's not who I am. But I will always have a comeback for you and let you know, like, I'm in your head.
Yeah, I ain't a sucker.
Yeah. You're gonna have to beat me here too, because I'm good at it.
Yeah, you definitely surprised me with some of the things you say online.
It looks like Zayas is the perfect opponent for Boots to prove himself. The Puerto Rican champion has a no-nonsense attitude and takes his fight seriously. He's the perfect opponent to test Boots and see whether he's really the bogeyman most people claim him to be. During his latest interview with Ring Magazine, Boots didn't hesitate to dismiss Xander right from the beginning of the interview. Boots corrected Max Kellerman, claiming that he was the one who asked his promoter Eddie Hearn to begin negotiations for a title clash with Xander Zayas after his fight with Virgil Ortiz collapsed. He also dismissed Xander's champion status, claiming that he is the gatekeeper of the division. He also plans to show Zayas and the world that he's the one who runs the super welterweight division, and all fighters have to pass through him for the belts come June 27th.
Good. You and Xander Zayas in Brooklyn this summer, man. I was surprised he chose to fight you. Were you surprised he chose to fight you?
He ain't choose to fight me. I told Eddie and them to go get him. After negotiations or whatever fell through with Ortiz and things like that. I told Eddie and my team, like, yo, go make sure y'all go get Zayas next for me if we can't get the Ortiz situation, and that's what they did for me. But I appreciate him for accepting the fight, because he didn't have to take this fight. He could have forced somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, if you are a young, up-and-coming, undefeated Puerto Rican fighter with a belt, you have some economic engine behind you if the island really gets behind you, right? And that puts you in a position to pick and choose. So if you're Zayas, the fact that he says yes to you, that says something about his confidence right now, doesn't it?
I don't know. With me, it don't matter. Like I said, this is my division, and no matter how much confidence he got, this is my division, and I'm about to show the world and stamp it.
During the interview, Boots expressed his excitement about being able to show the world what he's capable of on a stage as big as this. Boots knows that this is the perfect opportunity to silence the critics who claim that he hasn't been doing enough to prove that he's the best in the division. Boots predicts a knockout against Zayas, but gives him the respect he's due. He stated that Zayas is a strong, solid fighter, and his unified title status is well-deserved. However, he intends to show Zayas that there are levels to this game, and that there's a reason why he's the most feared boxer in the division.
You're finally getting a big fight on a big stage that you've been, deserving. How big is this for you to finally have a fight, right, where it's going to be everyone's watching for it? This is going to crown you as the next big thing in boxing. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is, I'm excited. That's what I've been waiting for, and being on a big stage. And y'all know when a big fight is in hand, y'all know I come alive when a big fight is in hand and the stakes is high. That's when I shine my best, and I'm excited. I can't wait to show the world, the rest of my abilities and put on a beautiful show and a beautiful knockout.
It's a certain stigma that certain fighters have around them when they compete, and you have that. Roy Jones had it, Pernell Whitaker had it, Meldrick Taylor had it at one time, and what it is no matter who they fight, regardless of the competition, it's just not going to be enough for the people. And I believe that Xander Zayas has a lot of qualities, but I also believe a lot of your qualities can make him look how you've made a lot of your other opponents look. You being extremely transparent, what do you see Xander Zayas like? What do he do good to you that could give you problems. But when you just watch him, you say, okay, I see he does that. He's good at that. He's one-dimensional here. What do you see that could be competitive in Xander Zayas for you in this fight?
He definitely a solid fighter. He a unified champion for a reason. So, he a good fighter. I feel like he getting better, but I'm about to show the world why it's really levels and why I'm really different like that. You know what I'm saying?
Zayas looks to be an easy opponent for Boots, and the boxing experts seem to think the same. Coach Bredman, for instance, holds Ennis in high regard, even likening him to the legendary Roy Jones Jr., arguing that when a fighter is blessed with this level of otherworldly raw athleticism, traditional boxing fundamentals simply stop applying. Bredman took it a step further and slammed the critics who claim that Boots doesn't boast a resume that puts him among the best fighters in the sport right now.
Okay, so like if we were looking at a guy, right, and you said, oh man, he makes the perfect little layup. He takes his first 2 steps, right? And then you had a guy that could just dunk off of 1 foot as soon as he catch it. Who would you rather on your team?
The dunker. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
So sometimes
So this could be that situation. Exactly.
But sometimes the perspective of the way we look at it is a little bit misguided. And Roy Jones is the person I come back to. People say he don't have fundamentals, Then why couldn't any of these guys that supposedly have all of these great fundamentals do anything with him? Why couldn't none of them do nothing with him until he was 35? Why? Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, Virgil Hill, Reggie Johnson, all of these good fighters. Why could Thomas Tate? They couldn't do nothing with him. Why? It's a reason for that. And I'm just telling you, and we talk about fundamentals, I'm going to tell you something. The most fundamental punch in boxing is a jab. Boots' jab is better than Xander's. It's better than Xander's.
He got to prove it, though.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see come June 27th. Let me know, man, if you want to make a little side wager.
He proved that Boots fought some of the most competitive boxers ever and blasted the media and critics for undermining his accomplishments. Bredman has full confidence that Boots can demolish any opponent put in front of him and believes he boasts a great resume, if not the best.
People talk about Boots' competition level, right? Okay, that's fine. Avanesian. Why did he fight Avanesian? Avanesian wasn't there. Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly just beat Tim
Tszyu.
Bakram for the title.
Oh my bad. Yeah, Bakram. Yeah.
How funny is that? Boots get flack for fighting Avanesian, and Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly beat Bakram, who was considered a monster. Nobody wanted to fight him in a division. And that's the way the media talks about Boots' competition level. Avanesian is just as good as the guy that Xander beat for the belt. But the media turns it a certain way, and the PR teams and stuff, they make it seem a certain way. Nobody makes that comparison, though. Nobody makes that comparison. Nobody says, damn, one of the guys that Boots washed just stopped Josh Kelly. Nobody talks about that. And Boots and Crawford have the same issue. They always get, their competition level gets talked about. And I'm not saying they got great resumes, because I'm a fan of Boots and Crawford. In my opinion, neither one of them have what you call a great resume. But I think they got solid resumes, and it's hard for them to get fights because people know what they are. But they beat some really solid guys that you don't get credit for. I didn't make Avanesian knock Josh Kelly out. He did it on his own. And now Josh Kelly is a player and a champion at 150, at 154. And that's the same guy that people talked about Boots knocking him out. That's the same guy people giving Boots shit like, man, how could you fight a guy like Avanesian? Blah, 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 blah. He knocked out Josh Kelly.
The legend, Roy Jones Jr. himself, recently shared his thoughts on the fight. While he refused to share a prediction, he did compare both fighters. Unlike other experts, Jones isn't entirely dismissing Zayas. Instead, he acknowledged the Puerto Rican boxer can fight and put up a competitive show. Jones, however, believes that Boots has more skills, pointing to the intangibles in both fighters. While Zayas too possesses a few, he's nowhere compared to what Boots is capable of doing in the ring. Jones clearly sees Boots going into this fight with an advantage, purely because of his superior skill set and experience in the ring.
Can Xander beat Boots, Roy? He's super confident. He thinks he could do everything Boots can do.
It's yet to be seen. It's like I said, I'm not saying he can't because I've seen Xander, and Xander is pretty good. Um, Intangible wise, I don't know that he can do everything Boots can do because Boots does have a lot of intangibles that Boots can do. I've seen him do a few more because he's been around a bit longer than Xander. But Xander's got to know how to make an adjustment. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know who will win the fight. The intangibles do lean toward Boots to me, but Xander's a hell of a fighter, a hell of a champion, and I've seen him in action up close when I had Slava fight him, and he gave Slava a pretty good, he made a good adjustment on Slava and came back and beat Slava, but Slava did hurt him early, but you never can tell. So does Boots have that kind of power? I think so, yes. Does Boots have boxing skills? I know that for a fact. So I think it's going to be just a great fight, and I can't wait to see who wins.
Yeah, should be a hell of a fight.
Former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman also leans heavily in favor of Boots Ennis. In his analysis on both fighters, one time stated that Zayas hasn't fought the big names, and the lack of experience will show when he takes on Boots in the ring. Thurman stated that Boots is called the bogeyman for a reason, and that he's seen him working hard and training in the gym for every fight. Boots is going to come prepared for this fight too, and therefore Thurman is hesitant to give Zayas a chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, I like the fact that, Xander Zayas has just, been able to do what he did, and I know he's got a lot of hype right now. I think he should be riding that hype train a little bit longer. And not sure if he's ready for the toughest fight of his career, you know. Um, Boots Boots' opposition in his last fight doesn't prepare him fully, for this fight. But Boots is a former champion, and Boots is young and on the grind and has been waiting to make a big statement. And this is that, there's always windows and opportunities. I remember when Paulie Malignaggi became world champion at 147, and I was like, who did he just fight? And then boom, he was overseas and he was able to get a title. So not only does he get to fight a champion, but he gets to fight a unified champion. You take out one and you walk away with two. It's just it's timing. But we know what they say about Boots. They say he's the boogeyman, right? That's what they want to say. He's the baddest, he's everything. So having the double strap on you in a elevated division coming from 147, that will fuel the hype train a lot more. But there's heavy hitters, there's some killers, and we've seen him. I love his work rate. I love his training regimens. I just love his dedication, and that's everything it takes to be a champion. So I lean towards him. I believe. I'm a believer. I'm a believer that he can make this happen, because I'm not a full believer of Xander Zayas. Like who he just got this belt off of, I didn't even know that guy. So it's not the same. I'm very big on pedigrees. I'm very big on resumes and things of that nature. And that's the good thing about that fight, that matchup, is they, in theory, they might be the best names on each other's resume. You know what I mean?
For sure.
The boxing world is reluctant to give Zayas the win, but have praised his guts for taking this fight. Zayas, meanwhile, is eager to show what he's capable of and is planning on surprising the world come June 27th. But we'd love to hear from you. Do you think this is going to be a one-sided affair, where Boots proves to the world that there are levels to this game? Or are we gearing up for a major upset? Let me know your predictions in the comments. That's all for today. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.